The Acorn and the Wind. At the edge of a quiet forest, where light filtered gently through tall branches, there rested a tiny acorn. It lay on a smooth, cool rock tucked in the shade, listening to the slow rustle of leaves above. The air carried the scent of damp earth and pine, rich, grounding, alive. Somewhere nearby, a stream murmured softly, its sound blending with birdsong and the occasional creak of branches stretching in the light. All around it stood the great oak trees, tall, rooted, at ease in their presence. Their trunks rose wide and steady, bark rough and warm where the sun touched it, their branches stretching naturally toward the sky. Leaves swayed gently, brushing against one another with a sound like quiet laughter, as if the wind were an old companion they trusted completely. The acorn gazed upward. "I could never be like you," it whispered. It had carried that thought for a long time. "I'm too small," it told itself, "too fragile, too easily overlooked." The rock beneath it felt firm and unmoving, cool against its shell. The forest floor below, dark and soft, seemed impossibly far away. "This must be my place," the acorn murmured, "here, watching." And as the thought repeated, it settled quietly, shaping the way the acorn saw itself, which was rather unusual, because in all the forest, there had never been another acorn quite like this one. Trees did not compare themselves. Roots did not worry about where they would end up. Leaves did not imagine their futures. But this acorn had a mind of its own. It thought about itself. It measured, it worried, it told stories. Time passed. Rain came and went, tapping softly against leaves, soaking the ground until the air smelt sweet and clean. Snow softened the forest into silence. Spring returned, gently persistent, filling the air with blossoms and warmth. Still, the acorn remained, watching, comparing, wondering. Then one day something shifted. A breeze moved through the forest, light at first, almost unnoticed. It stirred the leaves, lifted the scent of moss and bark, cooled the air against the acorn's shell. Then the wind gathered, playful and alive, weaving through branches and grasses. With a soft, deliberate nudge, it rolled the acorn from its rock. The acorn tumbled, slowly, brushing past roots and fallen leaves, until it came to rest in the soil below. Dark, rich, warm. The earth felt soft and welcoming, damp against its shell, alive with tiny movements and quiet warmth. The acorn grew still. "This feels uncertain," it whispered. And then the wind returned. It did not hurry. It did not press. It simply stayed. "You sound afraid," the wind said gently, "and curious too." "I was safe before," the acorn replied. At least I knew who I was." "What if I'm lost now? What if something ends me before I ever become anything?" The wind paused. Then it said, almost thoughtfully, "You know, in all my years moving through forests, oceans, deserts, and mountains, I have never met a seed that speaks to itself this way." The acorn blinked. "What do you mean?" "Plants grow," the wind said softly. "They don't judge where they are while doing it." The acorn fell quiet. "You have something extra," the wind continued, not unkindly. "A voice that comments, that compares, that imagines what should be." The wind softened, carrying the faint scent of wildflowers. "It's not who you are," it said. "It's just something you're listening to." The acorn hesitated. "Then what am I supposed to do with it?" "You don't need to fight it," the wind replied. "You only need to notice it." The acorn listened. "When a thought appears," the wind went on, "see if you can watch it, the way you watch clouds pass across the sky, or hear the stream without trying to stop it." A thought arose. "I'm too small." And for the first time, the acorn noticed the thought instead of believing it. Something loosened. "I want to be strong," the acorn said softly. "I want to matter. I want to grow." The wind became still. Then it murmured, "You are not here to become the tallest oak. You are here to soften and allow life to grow you." The wind moved gently through the grass. "In this forest," it continued, "everything unfolds in its own perfect time. Perfection is not something that arrives later." The acorn listened closely. "A rose is perfect as a seedling," the wind said. "Perfect as a bud. Perfect in full bloom. And just as perfect when its petals fall back to the earth. Nothing rushed, nothing was missing. Each stage has its own beauty," the wind whispered. "Each moment is whole." The acorn felt warmth spread through the soil around it. "To release the search," the wind continued, "is to remember that what you are looking for has been quietly living within you all along." Something softened, deeply this time. "But I don't know how," the acorn said. "Good," said the wind kindly. "Life does not require you to know. only to allow and to trust. The acorn rested. Above, daylight warmed the earth. Rain soaked the soil. Tiny creatures moved nearby, their presence gentle, creating space without effort. As the day softened, evening settled over the forest. The air cooled. Crickets began their song. The moon rose, calm and luminous, casting silver light across leaves and soil. Stars appeared one by one, distant yet intimate, steady and patient. They did not hurry. They did not compare. In the dark, the acorn felt a new kind of holding. No longer measured, no longer argued with, simply accompanied. As the wind passed through once more, carrying the cool night air, it whispered, "You are already enough, exactly as you are." The acorn settled more deeply into the soil. Its shell softened, not all at once, but just enough. Thoughts still came, but they no longer felt like commands. They were just sounds passing through. And slowly, as night gave way to dawn, the first light returned to the forest. Birdsong rose, leaves stirred, the trees breathed. Deep in the soil, the acorn remained, quiet, supported, at ease. Nothing visible had changed, and yet beneath the surface, where life flows freely, when it is no longer interrupted, a quiet strength had begun to rise, naturally, faithfully, in its own perfect time. And when you are ready, you can gently open your eyes.